doll collectors, hobbyists, fabsome besties. Today, we are working with hot glue. I use a fine tip hot glue gun. This one has been with me for a while. Okay, but where would I find one now? I went to Michael's and found this one, fine tip glue gun. It was about $15. It's a different brand and larger than my current glue gun, so let's test it out. I bought this silicone candy mold at Michael's. It's a really simple design with not a ton of small spaces, so we're gonna just fill this with the hot glue right up to the top. Caution, hot glue is hot. You've been warned. Once cooled, we can remove it from the mold, and we have a hot glue heart. I do have a couple of air holes, but that can be expected with hot glue. Ooh, this one has a lot. Maybe we can use the end of the nozzle to make a few more and call it cheese. Maybe we could use these for cakes. So let's paint them. I'm painting the cheese a soft yellow, and maybe we can add small dots of glue onto another one. I might have to do this off camera so I can have a steady hand. All right, we're gonna add a little drop and then swirl it around so we don't end up with a tail. I added a few dots to the bottom as well, and now we're gonna just paint it white. Might need more than one coat for some good coverage, and I'm gonna add a little texture to the bottom of this one and the top as well. I paint it a slightly off-white, add a little shading. This is the cheese. Let's cut a slice, paint it to match. I take a piece of wood and I'm just gonna lightly paint it brown. I mixed a drop of glue into Mod Podge for a little tint. I have a little square wooden dowel here. I'm going to add some drops of hot glue right onto the side and then just allow it to drip down a little. Remove them, glue them together to make what hopefully looks like grapes. Brush them with a little tinted Mod Podge. Glue everything onto the wood. Let's take the crackers from our DIY Frozen Moment Minis video, glue them on to make a little snack for the dolls. Now this does need to dry a little bit longer. So does my other cake. So let's make something else while we wait. Trace a circle on cardstock, trace another circle on the inside, cut it out, cut out the inner circle, then bend the paper, glue down the ends, glue the bottom to another piece of cardstock, paint it. I'm using a gloss white acrylic paint. Take the cutout, cut out the center, and repeat, only I squish it and trim the bottom just a little, shape it to make a teardrop, then glue it to leftover paper. Glue a small strip of paper in the back, paint it, cut out a circle, bend the edges up, paint it. While waiting for them to dry, I take out my silicone mat and place it over a circle, fill it in with hot glue, allow it to dry. Let's make a smaller one while waiting. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, and let's add another little lump next to it and maybe a few straight lines. That is dry, so let's add another layer on top. And this time we're gonna just add a little texture. I'm making kind of a swirly texture. Let's add those swirls to one of our little lumps and then kind of make pits in the other one. Take the thin strips of glue and we're gonna paint those green. Paint the large mound of glue a very pale yellow. Paint one of the smaller ones the same. Let's paint the last one golden brown. Let everything dry. Let's go back to our cake. It looks like we can add a little red paint to the top. I'm just kind of tapping the paint on, trying to hit those little peaks in the texture. Add a little red paint to the texture on the sides as well to finish our red velvet cake. The large bowl is now dry, so I trim off the bottom to make a large bowl. It doesn't look great on the inside, but that's okay because we're going to cover it up. But before we do, let's paint on some details to decorate the bowl. Take the large mound of glue and we're going to just glue it into the bowl. Cut the end of a glue stick, cut it into a square, paint it yellow, glue it on top, add Mod Podge, mix with a little yellow paint, and we're going to just let that kind of melt down the sides and allow it to dry. Take the plate, I decorated it as well. We will also need our little gravy bowl. Let's go ahead and trim off the bottom. Take our cream and brown mounds of glue along with our green strips. Take a paper clip, cut a small piece, leaving a small hook on it, then glue the hook to the gravy bowl. Make a small hole in the cream colored glue, then glue in the other end of the paper clip. Glue it to the plate along with the other glue items. This is supposed to be stuffing, but I don't know if it looks like it. Cut the little green strips, glue them on for green beans. I cut them a little smaller and I'm using Mod Podge to glue them together. Mix a tiny bit of brown paint into Mod Podge. Paint the glue going down the paper clip and inside the gravy bowl and around our mashed potatoes and stuffing. And then we're gonna just allow it to kind of pull on the plate a little. Allow it to dry for a DIY frozen moment mini. So we have a large bowl of mashed potatoes with butter, a red velvet cake, some cheese, crackers, and fruit, and a plate where the dolls are pouring gravy over mashed potatoes, most of which is made out of hot glue. So this hot glue gun worked pretty good. I think the grapes are probably my favorite, but I love a good frozen moment. It looks like Remint will be able to take pictures of our dolls looking like they're in action. So much fun. And the supplies for this craft are pretty much just hot glue, paper, and paint. Thank you for joining us while we made more hot glue food for our dolls that can totally be used for Thanksgiving. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff, the Frog Vlog, and Bella of My Froggy Stuff. And we will see you next time. Bye!